this afternoon, Wimbledon and Everton, 3 o'clock Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. 5 at the moment, Darlington are heading towards 4th place. 9 attempts at goal in the first 45 for them, 6 on target. We've had 9 corners as well. It's been quite entertaining so far on a real bog of a pitch. Action area is pretty even, but Darlington with a lot more of the ball. Ray and Nigel are with me, as always. Have you enjoyed it so far, Ray?
It's not been bad. I think we've seen the other side of the coin, Marcus, where we've seen 22 very honest professional guys having a real go on what you said is a bog of a pitch. But they've had a real go, and they have made it entertaining. A lot of goalmouth incidents.
Key moment in the 16th minute when, of course, Peterborough really should have taken the lead, or at least Clark should have forced a much better save out of the goalkeeper. And while he was still scratching his head, Nigel, Gabbiadini went up the other end and showed him just how to do it.
Yeah, but Adam Reid will be thankful that Andy Clark didn't take that on and round the goalkeeper and slot it in, because it comes out to Craig Liddell here, who knocks a lovely ball forward. Duffield gets a flick on. The defenders are all over the shop, it has to be said. And Gabbiadini, with that space and time, doesn't miss from there, even on his left foot.
As he was advancing, we were all saying, well, he's going to score, weren't we?
You did, Marcus, you said that. But the thing to look out for is Marco's first touch of the ball. As the ball comes through to him, he pushes it out of his feet, which gets his head up off the floor so he can see where the goal is. And then it's another touch. That was 2 touches from 35, 40 yards out of goal. That was a very, very well-taken goal.
Barry Fry said during the week if he had Gabbiadini in his side, then Peterborough would have been champions before Christmas. He's had a number of other opportunities. He's obviously a cut above the other 21 players on the pitch, isn't he?
Well, he looks it, doesn't he? He's strong, he holds the ball up well, he turns well on it. He had a shot on his left foot that just went wide. For such a small guy, he's good in the air, and he's caused a lot of problems. And I think Wicks and Edwards at the centre of the defence for Peterborough have been pulled all over the shop by Duffield and Gabbiadini. Heaney's done well down the left-hand side as well. And I think Barry Fry will be having words with his team in there, especially about their defending.
Yeah, as you say, for a reasonably small man, he does get up well, doesn't he?
Yeah, but from any level of football, Marcus, the delivery in has been fantastic. Now, that was a great ball in there. The first one from Heaney was a fabulous ball. So let's give them credit as well. They've put on a little bit of style at times as well.
Adam Reid might have put Darlington in front as early as the 52nd second. Good free kick, and that's just the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, what a start that would have been. I think it's Heaney's ball in, good pace, as Ray says, good delivery. He gets round the back and just an inch away from putting them 1-0 up in 50-odd seconds.
And then right on half-time, the possibility of a penalty for the home side. Ray, I know you think it isn't. Let's have another look. Does he not just stretch out his hand there?
Not for me, he doesn't even look to see where it is, I don't think, Marcus. He falls over. He doesn't know where the ball is. I think his hands just land up. But Marco's still got possession of the ball. And I think that's probably why the referee didn't give a spot. You wanted to see a penalty kick.
Well, I like to see entertainment, but it's a good talking point. Let's pop inside the Peterborough dressing room. I wouldn't really want to be one of the Peterborough players at the moment. Let's hear what Barry's saying.
All right, but I'm going to change it. Richie, you're off. David Farrell, you're off. Greeny. And
Forrington to get warmed
wide right, Forrington down the middle, Clarkie go left. 4-2-4, same as what they are. Stevie, you and Richard, not got to get forward, you can't, mate. In that half, 3 midfield players they had. We had 3 midfield players, they had 2, and they was at the knockdowns all the time, lads. Not good enough. Gone through the mud.
Barry not a happy man, so Richie Hanlon and Richard Scott off, and it's going to be Francis Green and Howard Forrington, we think, who are coming on. Peterborough trailing by a goal at half-time. Back in a couple of minutes.
Ooh, Oliver hitting that one straight into Castle. This is Gabbiadini. Wainwright has switched to the left. Heckingbottom. Gabbiadini let it run that time towards Oliver, and he was maybe caught a little by surprise. This is Heaney. Oliver. Gabbiadini was close to him. He's looked for Wainwright, and it's a debut goal for Neil Wainwright on loan from Sunderland that will surely now be enough to sew up the victory for Darlington.
It's a beautiful little move, isn't it? That's the goal that David Hodgson's side needed. And surely now, as you say, Rob, that's a beautiful interplay here. You watch Green getting back, he doesn't get back enough. Wainwright inside him, sweet finish with his right foot. You know, Green can spot the danger, he's got to get back in there. Wainwright knows he's got a little bit of time, but takes it first time. Lovely sweet strike with the right foot. Goalkeeper no chance, and that's game over.
He's got a few in his Wrexham days. 3 in 11 games, in fact, for Neil Wainwright, who's been trapped for a while by David Hodgson and his coaching team. They've seen him play 4 or 5 matches below first-team level for Sunderland of late, but the decision to bring him in has been well rewarded with that second goal.
Well, the congratulations are starting already.
Well, is it all too late for a Peterborough revival now? Glum looking Barry Fry. I think Scott. Lee. This is Oliver. Now Gabbiadini.
Just offside. I think Oliver's done well in that centre as well. He's been winning a few crunchers and spreading the ball about nicely.
There must be a delighted chairman who's left his vantage point upstairs. Drury. Gabbiadini just caught there, was he, by Wicks? Three minutes of stoppage time. It's another win and another clean sheet that gives Darlington a healthy nudge up the table. Golden goal scorer Marco Gabbiadini with his 22nd of the season, so soon after Andy Clark had missed a sitter for Peterborough. That really was the turning point of the match, and Gabbiadini's goal added to in the second half by Neil Wainwright, who marked his debut on loan from Sunderland with the one that clinched it. The unbeaten home record at Feetham's this season then is preserved. After Clark's miss, Darlington straight down the other end, a nice flick on from Duffield, and Gabbiadini as lethal as ever. And then in the second half, despite a patchy display from the home team, it was really settled when Wainwright wrestled his way in front of his man to finish cleanly and to bring Darlington the victory that their efforts richly deserved. Darlington 2, Peterborough 0.
Rob, thank you very much indeed. Darlington do not give away half-time leads, do they? Now, still to come this afternoon, Super Sundays at Selhurst Park this week. It's Wimbledon night, so they've got a game in hand on Barnet and Rotherham, and Peterborough stay 8th with 45 points from their 28 games. Barry Fry's side still with games in hand themselves. Ray and Nigel have been with me throughout the afternoon. I think the home side deserved that, didn't they, Ray?
I think they did, yeah. I think their forward play just about deserved it, Marcus, yeah.
What did you make of Peterborough? It was difficult for them on that very difficult surface, and certainly in the first half it was very even, Stephen, wasn't it?
I think Darlington adapted to the conditions better than Peterborough, to be fair. I thought first half they were quite poor, Peterborough. They came into it a little bit in the second half, but once the second goal went in, that killed them off. But Darlington look a good side. You know, they work hard for each other. They have to on that pitch. But they've also got some players who can play a bit. And you know, with the money of Mr. Reynolds, hopefully they get promotion.
Key point: 16 minutes into the first half, 15 awful seconds in the life of Andy Clark, the Peterborough striker who should have scored then. He was feeling bad enough at that point. He was still mulling over the miss as he watched Darlington go up the other end. Watch the clock. The header on. There's Gabbiadini. He doesn't miss his 22nd of the season, just 15.3 seconds after Clark's miss. And as long as Gabbiadini stays fit, they're going to score plenty of goals this season, aren't they?
Yeah, I would imagine they would score stacks, Marcus, at this level. This is a second goal there with Wainwright. Good ball in from Oliver. Gets his head up, just tucks one in, and there's Wainwright to finish it off very well, it has to be said, because it's a bobbly old pitch. He hit that nice on the half.
Yeah, I bet you're glad that as a player you didn't have to perform on that surface too often. Though I seem to remember Stamford Bridge in the 70s and 80s wasn't all that it could have been.
I've got to say, at some stage we had an abysmal playing surface at Stamford Bridge, and thankfully it's not like that now.
OK, but all in all, you're impressed with the Darlington setup, Nigel, and you think that maybe his plan of dancing through the division to the Premiership is not complete pie in the sky?
I think that is, Marcus, yeah. But if they can get out of this division, you never know. A new stadium, the fans, what made it good today was the atmosphere. There's a lot of fans there. It's a close little ground. If they move to a big stadium, we've seen it happen so many times with the likes of Stoke. You get it, and Reading as well. You get a nice big stadium, but nobody there to fill it.
OK, Nigel, Ray, thank you very much indeed for your company. We are back on Friday when Tranmere take on Barnsley in the First Division. Marco, the darling once again for Darlington. From us all for now, it's goodbye.
A look for Terry Dolan as he watched his York City side for the first time. There were, though, better fortunes for Darlington. We'll start the Third Division roundup with the Quakers' trip to Exeter.
After passing their televised test against Peterborough a week ago, Darlington maintained their winning ways against Exeter on Saturday. Neil Heaney with the first goal of the match, his 5th of the season. But no doubt about the goal-scoring king of the Quakers. Marco Gabbiadini's 23rd of the season came after 28 minutes. No question that the first half belonged to Darlington, but they slipped up on the hour mark. Exeter pulled one back. Gary Alexander finishing off a well-worked goal, and the home side began to take control. But Peter Duffield soon restored Darlington's 2-goal lead after 76 minutes. But it took something special to round off a fine afternoon. Neil Wainwright produced the solo effort of the game. His twisting and turning left Exeter in disarray. 4-1 Darlington, and David Hodgson's side 6 points behind leaders Rotherham and with the game in hand.
A good win for Darlington at Exeter, watched by Martin Dean.
There's trouble here. Oliver's got away from the offside trap, inside towards Heaney. And that is swept into the net for the opening goal. This is Heckingbottom. Towards the far post, Gabbiadini with the header. And that is his 23rd of the season. Picked up by Bennett. Buckle, wide for Naima, his first touch. Cross to Alexander with the header. And Exeter are back in it. And then interfered in towards the near post. Little flick on, and that is 3. Well, it was a lovely flick on at the near post. And there, waiting at the far post to thump it home, was Peter Duffield. Darlington still coming forward. This is Wainwright. Around the outside of McConnell. Wainwright still going, and that is 4. Well, no doubt now about the destination of the 3 points.
Now, there are open goals and there are open goals. When the opposition miss chances like this, well, you start thinking it's got to be your day. Former Middlesbrough defender Simon Coleman with the red face. Darlington kept their fans hanging on, though. Top scorer Marco Gabbiadini went off, and substitute Jesper Hjorth's shot clipped the angle of post and bar near the end. Even nearer to the end, and it was still 0-0. But then Hjorth sent Michael Oliver through on the gallop. His deflected shot proved to be the winner, 2 minutes into injury time. Darlington go back into the top 3 for the first time since Christmas.
It took just 11 minutes for Marco Gabbiadini to slot home his 24th goal of the season against Mansfield and keep Darlington on course for automatic promotion. Lee Cowling then gave a lesson in how not to run a ball out of play. Ben Hickey brushed him aside, and Jesper Hjorth made it 2-0 to the Quakers. Mansfield had gone some 300 minutes without scoring a goal before Michael Boulding ended the lengthy drought with one 3 minutes from time.
League wins in succession, and Darlington fill the final automatic promotion berth. They've now got a 6-point gap between them and the chasing pack. Peter Duffield was credited with a first against Rochdale in just the 2nd minute. Neil Wainwright's currently on loan from Sunderland and hitting a real purple patch. This was his 3rd goal in 5 matches. 2-0 after 20 minutes, but it was soon 2-1. Tony Ellis latching on to Clive Platt's flick-on. But the best was yet to come from Division 3's top scorer. Just sit back and enjoy Marco Gabbiadini's 25th of the season. A quite magnificent goal to put the game beyond Rochdale's reach. And to compound their misery, Peter Duffield added a fourth from Wainwright's inviting cross. Darlington 4, Rochdale 1.
In Division 3, it's looking good for Hartlepool and Darlington. Both won at the weekend to put the pressure on the rest of the teams at the top. Our roundup kicks off at Feetham's.
Unbeaten at Feetham's all season, Darlington made it 5 wins out of their last 5 on Saturday. Great start after just 2 minutes. Peter Duffield in the thick of things, but surely that was an own goal. Rochdale lie just 3 points away from the playoff zone, but few can stop the Quakers in their promotion challenge. Neil Wainwright's superb finish, and what a lone signing he's proved to be for David Hodgson. But within 3 minutes, the visitors had pulled one back, courtesy of Tony Ellis. 2-1, not for long though. They were starting to pour the half-time tea when Marco Gabbiadini bagged his 25th goal of the season. What a way to cap his 50th goal for the club. Into the second half, and Peter Duffield's header sealed an emphatic win. Darlington 4 points behind league leaders Rotherham and with a game in hand.
Third division teams have been in action this evening.